Right, hello everybody, and welcome back to the final episode of Series 2 of Doc Who Pod. I'm Josh. With me, as always, is my co-host JP. How's it going, Jack?
Yeah, I'm all good, thank you. How about yourself?
Not too bad. Thank you for asking. And joining us is, I don't even know if we can call him a special guest anymore. I guess friend of the show, passerby, something along those lines.
Acquaintance?
Acquaintance, yeah. Bradley Fuller.
Yes, he's back again. Play that on the intro. Buzzing to be back. Sorry, I missed last week, boys. We're ready.
Couldn't believe it, honestly. We chatted so much shit about you; it was unbelievable.
Oh,
Although saying that, I did get you back with the council worker being your favourite character. So I got you back. Don't worry.
Oh Christ, yeah, he wasn't here for
then.
Fear Her either.
Why did I miss that one? I can't remember now.
Anyway,
I think it's a time difference thing. Oh, I was working late, I think.
Anyway,
you're in the same house as me.
Yeah.
The back of the house is actually like an hour behind me. I just live in the world's first house.
The Dubai time. Because he doesn't.
Yeah, but if Jack can make it work,
No, because I remember I was working late. I didn't get back till like 7, and then you were like, "Oh, it's too late."
Oh yeah, you came on at the end of the show very briefly.
Yeah.
Anyway, lovely trip down memory lane. This. We're into the finale. We'll just briefly sum it up in one word, JP.
Torchwood.
Okay, fair enough. And just before we jump in, Brad, I want to ask you: out of the 3 David Tennant finales, season 1, series 2, and season 3, let's not count the specials. Where does this rank for you in finales?
I'm undecided whether I'd put it second or third, if I'm honest. Like, I think all 3 are great finales.
Agreed.
But season 3 and season 4 are possibly even better.
I completely
season 4
agree with
the best. Depends when you're talking about season 4. Are you talking about the specials finale or the actual series finale?
No, the series finale, the Journey's End or whatever it's called.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, no, I say that's the best one. And then it's between this one and series 3 that's second and third. I'd say this is probably third, to be honest.
I reckon this is third, but I disagree. I think Martha's finale is the best, but I think this is number 3. I agree.
But it's hard to compare because that's a 3-parter.
Yeah, we'll do it as a 2-parter, but we'll get to it anyway. But me and Jack, we were talking last week about Jack. I think you asked me, or you were worried that this is going to be the Avengers End.
Yeah, I did. I said last week that we all know that Endgame was the peak of Marvel. It's never got better than Endgame. And I was like, this was a very, very, very good season finale. I really enjoyed it. And I was just sitting there thinking, I'm now worried that it's all downhill from there. But Josh reassured me and said, no, actually, it does get better. Agreed?
Yeah,
no, it definitely does. If anything, as a bit of a, not a spoiler, I'm not going to say anything, but what you're referring to as the Avengers Endgame is probably the Series 4 finale.
That's exactly what I said, Brad. I think this is like first Avengers movie. And then Avengers Endgame is still to come.
Yeah, Series 3 is like Age of Ultron. And
I don't know. I think it's
Infinity War Endgame is like the series finale for season 4, and then the specials finale.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Bang on.
But
exactly
before we break this episode down, we've kept you waiting a week. We're going to keep you waiting a little bit longer. Let's jump over to Who News. Big week for news.
It is a big week for news because we are in the anniversary week of Doctor Who. Who's
the anniversary?
Whoop, whoop. JP, because he can't watch it.
Yeah. I'll watch it in a couple of years' time, don't worry.
Josh, how excited are you for the anniversary specials coming up?
No, I'm excited for it. It should be good. Saturday, first special is coming out. That's for it. We're going to do a breakdown. Probably, if you're free on Sunday afternoon, we'll record it and I'll either slap it up Sunday evening or we'll get it out
quick
Monday morning.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, we'll smash that out pretty quick.
But yeah, excited. David Tennant is back. We got a little teaser of him this weekend, and I think it should be good, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be quality without a doubt. David Tennant and Russel T Davies and Catherine Tate and Neil Patrick Harris. Can't go wrong, really, can you?
Love Neil Patrick Harris.
Who doesn't? But then, anyway, that moves on to the second point where I'm presuming you were going to mention about after the little children in need sketch. And I have we've had a little discussion over text. I'm not sure if your opinion's changed since, but basically, I'm sure everyone's seen it, but they've done the little sketch of the genesis of the Daleks, like now a new intervention of David Tennant's Doctor, the 14th Doctor, and how he accidentally helps create the Daleks with the name and the plunger. Now, the big thing they've done in this sketch is they've basically changed Davros's appearance to make him not disabled anymore. In my opinion, never thought he was disabled, just had a Dalek chair.
Exactly.
But they've now done this because Russell T interview after, where he now says he doesn't agree with showing a disabled person as being evil. So they've kind of like retconned Davros. Is that what you were going to mention?
Yeah, it's madness to me. So I haven't watched this RTD interview yet, but my impression of it is just that this is Davros before he's got the chair. Like, that's what I thought was happening, because he doesn't have his third eye yet. He's not wrinkled. I thought it was just like a prequel. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is how it started.
That's what I expected, because the only time we've seen him before as well was in the, I don't know if it's in his finale, is it one of the Peter Capaldi episodes where he's as a child?
Yeah, exactly. And he's a human, yeah.
And he's
basically
human.
Yeah.
But then RTD's come out and done this interview, and he's literally turned around and said, no, like, this is how I want people to see Davros now. He shouldn't be seen as someone in a wheelchair, because that's not how you should see disabled people, basically.
Just absolute madness, though. Like, someone put in one of the Facebook groups. Go on.
It's going woke for the sake of going woke. Like, no one ever meant. I don't think anyone ever had issues with Davros being in a chair. Like, it's made an issue out of nothing, which is really weird.
There's literally on the Facebook group. Yeah, no, it worries me too. Like, if this is not what Russ does. There's literally an interview with him back when he was doing another finale in which he uses Davros, and he says, someone asks him, you didn't make any changes to him from Classic, and Russell goes, no, because he's perfect as he is. He's the perfect villain. And so it's interesting that he's done a 360. I need to watch the interview. He must be joking. He must be joking.
No, it was literally Doctor Who Confidential. It was like an official interview. It can't be. You wouldn't joke about that in an interview. It's really weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I say keep him a cripple.
Well, I mean, I don't think you can say that, but I just don't think he needed to change. I think it's just going over the top for the sake of it.
Agreed. Just say it's Davros before he became Davros. Fine, easy. Don't overcomplicate things. But anyway, did you watch The Children in Need, JP?
No, I didn't. I was, to be honest, I was debating it because I was like, oh well, I'm assuming it wasn't going to contain any spoilers or anything, and I'm kind of glad I didn't, because Brad said that I wouldn't have understood. I think the villain is, well, I know the villain is someone that I haven't met yet, so I probably would have been confused.
Interesting.
It still would have made sense, but yeah, it's just because you haven't met. I mean, he's in Classic Who as well, but you haven't got to the series where Davros is in New Who, so.
Yeah, so
so.
I didn't watch it. But to be honest, it's all stuff for me to catch up with anyway, because I'm assuming that once I get to season 4, is it you said, or something like that, then it starts, like, kind of not mattering. Like, I'm assuming is season 4 the end of Tenant, and then that goes to Matt Smith.
Yeah, there's some specials in between, but season 5 is Matt Smith.
Yeah. So again, I think once we finish the Tenant era, I guess you call it era. I think I'll start watching stuff in the future, because I'm assuming that with David Tennant coming back, he's going to be referencing the stuff that David Tennant done rather than what Matt Smith,
exactly.
So once I clear the Tennant era, I think I'll start watching that. But
very good. Anything to add for the news?
The only other bit, which I think I've seen today, I'm presuming it's official because it looked like a Disney Plus official. But it looks like confirmation that the Christmas special will actually be on Christmas Day this year, which I'm absolutely buzzing about, because New Year's Day was just stupid. So we're getting, and we've got Doctor Who back on Saturday nights. We've got the Christmas specials back on a Christmas Day. Doctor Who's back,
and we've got David Tennant and Russell T Davies back. Yeah, Doctor Who is fucking back.
It is.
Do we reckon I'm going to be able to watch it?
No,
part of me wants
you'll definitely be able to watch the new series. Yeah,
won't be able to.
No, will. It's basically it's sort of being seen as like not a reboot, but like a
soft reboot, I think they're calling it. Yeah, season 1 of New Who, or whatever it is we're calling it now.
Yeah,
which is stupid as well. I think that's a stupid decision, man.
I don't think it really matters though. It still continues.
I said this, right? So I had a little debate with someone on Instagram the other day. They were like, "Oh, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to Doctor Who. Why are you starting it again from season 1?" It doesn't fucking matter. How often do you describe a series of Doctor Who by saying, that's like season 6. I don't fucking know what season 6 is. Tell me it's the Matt Smith and Amy Pond season. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like effectively every new Doctor could be a new soft reboot because
Yeah, exactly.
it starts over again.
I think more people will say, no, that was the David Tennant and Martha series than, oh, that's series 3. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like
I don't think it fucking matters.
I can literally tell you series 1 to 5 probably. Anything after that, I couldn't tell you what series is what.
No, exactly. What series is Peter Capaldi and Clara?
I don't know. I'd guess like series 8.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I think it's 9, and I think it's 9. Yeah, I think it's 9 is the first.
Is it 9?
Again, I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's just another little rant. Hopefully, that's two bad marks on Russel T Davies's book before he's even started. To be fair, feeling anxious or?
Oh, I still know he'll pull it out of the bag. I've seen. Did you also? It isn't really. They didn't really say much about it, but I don't. Did you see their interview they did? I think it was last night on the One Show.
No. What happened?
They were both on the One Show, and it was only like 5 minutes, but they just had a quick discussion about it, and they were like, they talked about each of the episodes. They said like the first one is like classic Doctor Who, like really good, like old days Doctor Who. Then episode 2, they said is like insane, like it's so different, like it's really good. And then the third one they said is just like ridiculous, like it's the best thing they've ever done, and it's like so brilliant, like they're absolutely buzzing for it. So
I'd have loved it if they'd have gone. I'd have loved it if they'd gone. Yeah, number 1 is going to be really good, classic Who. Number 2 is going to be crazy. You've never seen anything like it. Number 3, we sort of ran out of ideas. Actually, it's going to be a bit shit.
No, but I think like, at the end of the day, that is going to be the finale where the 14th Doctor regenerates to the 15th. So, or supposedly,
yeah, we don't fucking know what's going to happen. To be fair, but
that's what's so good. Like, I just think you don't know what's coming.
Yeah, and
like,
we've only got 3 weeks left to find out. So exciting times.
Yeah, and then only a few more weeks until the Christmas special.
Well, it'll pretty much run into it, right? So, if we start this week, 2nd of December, 9th of December, and then we're basically 2 weeks later, and then we've got the Christmas special.
Yeah, mad.
Buzzing. Anyway, does that conclude Who News?
That does indeed.
Hey guys, thanks for your contribution to that section, JP. It's always appreciated.
Oh, well,
yeah, sorry, JP. It was very new Who.
I felt like I couldn't stop talking there. I'm sorry to all the listeners.
All right then, JP. Let's get your minutes in. You want to kick us off with this episode?
Oh, it was fucking good, wasn't it?
I thought it was all right.
Really?
Only all right.
Yeah, I mean, good. Don't get me wrong, but maybe I've just seen it so many times I've become numb to it. I was just, I don't know. I was just like, oh, I thought there was more. I remember there being more Daleks and Cybermen fighting. I don't know. Let's go through. Let's stick to our usual routine. And JP, you far away.
Yeah, no. I mean, it begins with. I kind of clocked it straight away because they kind of do the thing where they're like, oh, and that is Rose talking, like doing a voiceover. And she's like, oh, this is how I died. And I said to Brad, I was like, obviously she's not dying. She's metaphorically going to die. Like, the part of the dies of the Doctor. And that's how it was. I clocked that straight away. But I do like that. It's kind of like keeps you on edge. I don't know at the time if she, well, obviously she hasn't because she's in a different thing. But I don't know at the time whether she confirmed if she wasn't returning or if she was returning or what. I don't know. She was no.
Yeah, so she confirmed that this was her series. This was going to be her last series, and she's out. Which leads me to the question: should they have put that little intro at the start of the series?
What, right at the start of the series?
Yeah. Do you think so? This is my issue with Fear Her: is that Fear Her ends, and she's like, "Oh, there's a storm coming. You're never ever going to split us up." And the Doctor's like, "Never say never ever." Like, okay, but that's the episode before the finale. There's no foreshadowing through this series that it's going to be her last. Do you not think they should have built the tension throughout?
I don't think there was in any other series though. Why would you?
But why not? Like, think back to Satan Pit and Impossible Planet. She's stranded on this base. The Doctor's gone missing. You don't know what's going to happen. If you'd have had that intro for this episode at the beginning of the series, we've never lost a companion before. We could lose her in the middle of the series. We don't know what's going to happen. Do you not think that would have been a little bit more interesting?
Honest answer, I don't know.
I think it feels a bit rushed and a bit slapped on to the ending. Do you know what I mean? And if you're not going to shadow it throughout the series, why put that here? It doesn't really add to the story. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it kind of does, because you
You
don't
reckon?
know. It's never confirmed whether it's how. I mean, yeah, I can't remember what it's called, where you have like the dead character narrating the story, and then you find out that the character's dead at the end. I'm sure there's a specific writing term for that, but yeah, I don't know. It kind of, for me, I was like, oh, well, obviously she survived, and I don't know how, but she survived, and metaphorically, she's dead because a part of her died with the Doctor or something like that. But I guess if you didn't read into it that way, the finale bit where kind of where they're trying to close the portal, she could have died.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that. We will definitely talk about that. Yeah, but I think I think the episode would be better without it. If you ask me, I think stick this scene at the beginning of the series, build the tension throughout, and then straight in with the army of ghosts. And my first note is, why is Jackie acting so weird? If there are ghosts back and her, Rose's dead granddad's walking into the kitchen, don't just say, "I've got a surprise for you." You'd be like, "Your dead granddad's coming back," right? Don't you think you'd lead into it a bit?
Trying to build the tension, just what it is. She's trying to just see Rose just shit herself when a ghost comes in the house.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, which is an acceptable
Jackie
response.
Will be more aware. Jackie's been around the Doctor. She knows what his life like. If a ghost walks into your living room, surely you just know it's not real. Why is she so? I know she says like, "Oh, everyone is convinced it's like their old family and stuff." She can smell the cigarettes and stuff, but you know that ghosts aren't real. You would know.
No, exactly. And also,
Yeah.
I had a question throughout most of that first episode: is how long have these ghosts been around? Because they're now in EastEnders. One of them's married a ghost. Like everybody's just okay with it. And then they say, "Oh, it was 2 months ago." Like, the world would be shitting itself if ghosts only appeared 2 months ago. Like, how is everybody so okay with this? It's ridiculous.
I don't know. It's that kind of level of because they become familiar, because you think you're like, oh, it's a ghost of a relative. You kind of suddenly relax about it. Whereas if you was to say, so kind of I went on a ghost hunt a couple of weeks ago, and like if you say, oh, this could be the ghost, like the ghost of a known murderer was known to haunt these hallways and everything like that, you're like, fucking hell, could be anywhere. Like he could have me for like dinner or something. But if you're like, oh yeah, by the way, a ghost of a relative that you know might come through, you're more receptive to it
But
because
who's
it's a known
telling
thing.
them? Who's telling them it's a relative?
Oh, they're
It's
telling it
just
themselves.
smell, isn't it?
No, they're telling it themselves, because that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's I never believe in, like, kind of like psychics, and when they do like a big event, and they do like they'll pack out like a local theater, and there'll be like 100 people in there, and then
Yeah,
they go,
yeah, yeah.
oh right, I'm getting it. That is just a pure game of numbers. If
Yeah,
you've
of
got
course.
enough people in a room, someone has kind of, you can say very vague things to get it done. I do, like, I'm not saying it's not all true, because like, you do get some psychics that are literally just a one-on-one, and they'll tell you some like absolutely mind-blowing shit. But like, when it's just a thing of numbers, and because you're reaching all the time, because you're obviously going there because you're looking to reconnect with someone from that's died, you're reaching. So like, even if like I don't know, someone says, "Oh, I've got someone that's driving a red car," you may actually think, where it was an orange car, you may go, "Oh yeah, that was a red car. Yeah, I remember that," because your brain automatically tries to associate with something that's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 yeah. No,
So
potentially. All
that's
right,
why
fair
I
enough.
kind of liked it, but I kind of didn't. I mean, again, I think that if that actually happened in this, like, in real life, that would happen. People would be jumping to conclusions, going, "Oh yeah, it's my long lost great grandma," not actually thinking you straight.
I don't know. I
Like,
think I disagree with that.
look, every time there's a major, kind of football tournament, the Euros or the World Cup, we're all singing "It's Coming Home," right? We all know it's not going to come home, but we all sing "It's Coming Home" because we choose to believe.
Yeah, but
And
we're
then
not
when England get,
welcoming ghosts into our house, for fuck's sake.
Bit of a
oh, I
difference.
don't know, the Ghost of 1966.
That's the
it's that thing.
weirdest
You kind of,
analogy I've ever heard.
no, it's not. It's not, because like everybody, if everybody is going, "Oh, these are ghosts of my relatives," you'll go, "Oh yeah, it's probably a ghost of this relative."
I don't know, but if a ghost walked into the house right now, I don't think I think that's a ghost of my relative. I think I'd be shitting myself.
I don't know. Probably a ghost. To be honest, mate, as every judge can be a ghost of my relatives, so you'll be all right. So yeah. So anyway, so I don't know. I believe that if it was to happen, everybody would be on board with it, and that would be it.
And we're basing
very
that on the
specific,
World
though.
Cup.
Yeah, on the World
I
Cup,
disagree wholly.
all the
but-
Euros. No, I think. Very specific though that it's always at 12 minutes past.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
only
'cause
for
they do the
3
ghost
minutes.
shift.
Yeah, but why?
dunno.
Anyway, speaking of the ghost
yeah.
shift, right? This leads me on to my most important point, and I think this is going to be a topic for debate amongst this episode.
The Halloween weather special.
And how? Well, no, but brilliant. How does that even work, though? Like, it's always the
Got a
same
strong
shifts. I don't understand.
I don't know. I did kind of like it. It reminded me a little bit like when they were showing the ghosts integrating with like the human life and everything like that. It really reminded me of the end of Shaun of the Dead. Spoilers for anybody that hasn't seen the
Yes,
film.
yeah.
It's like 20 years old. But you know the bit where they're doing like the game show and then they've got the Jeremy Kyle show with the zombies and everything like that.
Yeah.
I was like, it's kind of like that with the EastEnders, and I was just like, that is brilliant. And just honestly, the thing that she says about the spirit, I was cracking. I
Oh,
was
best
like,
line
that
of
is
all Doctor Who, I
fucking
think. Yeah.
brilliant. I love it.
What was that one? What line?
Which I don't watch EastEnders, so I don't know who the character was. But the
Peggy.
bird behind the bar, Peggy.
Oh, the Peggy bit. Get out of my pub, yeah.
Yeah, that's
The
yeah,
only
no,
spirits we serve
Yeah.
are vodka
Yeah.
and gin or whatever it was.
Gin.
Oh,
Brilliant.
yeah.
fucking love it. Brilliant.
No,
I
but
don't know.
right,
Go
I
on.
just have to get this out of the way up top. Yvonne Hartman, fucking unreal.
Knew you'd say that.
Which one was that? Hold on.
The booby Torchwood leader.
The Torchwood woman.
Oh yeah, no, I called that. I knew you'd say that.
Because it's true. Come on, she's unreal.
No, she gives me vibes of someone. I can't think who. Someone not good.
JP, deciding vote.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah, probably a little bit older for my liking, but
I think it may have
I think
been
she's
my
just annoying
first
as well.
exposure to cleavage as a little kid, I think. Anyway, okay. So we're all in favour that Yvonne is fit.
yeah, no,
Okay,
I'd
we'll
say
do that.
I'd say that. I was just quickly googling to see how old she actually is.
I think she is quite old. She must have been
Yeah,
about
50.
40 odd. She's got fat now as well. She was in
So
was
am I,
she in?
so that doesn't matter.
After... I think she was in Afterlife, and I'm a bit like, oh, that's
She was
sad.
in EastEnders, wasn't she?
Mate, she
Was
was in
she?
Friday Night Dinner.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, Friday Night Dinner.
Yeah, she was the I can't. We said this and I can't remember who it was. It's like the oh god, what's her name? It's not Jackie. It's Jackie's friend. I can't remember what her name is now.
His friend.
That's gonna bug me.
Not even
Gonna
a big
fucking bug.
character.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so the guys doing the ghost shift. Recognize anyone, Brad?
Yeah, of course I do. Can't spoil it, can we? But
Of course
yeah,
we
there's an
can.
upcoming.
We can. Yeah.
What are we going to actually just confirm who it is for JP?
Yeah. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything, does it?
No, I guess not. I mean, I think I did mention it to you when we was watching it, JP. But one of the people in Torchwood is the official companion for the next series.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
The only other woman in Torchwood.
Not a big part either. Yeah, not a big part in this series.
So a small part, I think her name in this is like AD or something like that. Apparently Russell was so impressed with her acting in this episode that he was like, I have to give you more. I have to give you more. But they were like, no, she's already filmed. We've already paid her. So he was like, right, fuck it. I'm going to make her the next companion. And apparently in universe, they are cousins, I believe is the explanation for it.
Yeah, I think so.
Cousins or something.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, there you go. Future
But they're
companion.
identical.
No, that's quite cool. That is quite cool. I like that. Yeah, no, carrying on with that. So after the EastEnders cameo, we also of course have the two office romance lovers, I guess you can call them, working at Torchwood.
Which is the most 2000s man I've ever seen in my life, right?
No,
There's one
even
point-
the frosted tips.
Right, there's one point where she takes the first one off to be killed, and then she's sat at the computer, she's messaging the other one, and genuinely, I was sat there thinking, is that the same guy? Like, I could not distinguish these two mid-2000s men apart from each other.
I kind of get what you
Slick
mean.
haircut, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just weird suits and pink shirts on a suit is a very mid-noughties thing. I didn't even realize until I was watching this, but just
Nothing wrong with that.
strange.
You can still wear a pink shirt.
Yeah, but it's that bold pink underneath a black suit. I think is quite dated now.
Yeah, black suits.
Black suits are dated. Yeah, that's very busted era, isn't it?
Very busted. Yeah, exactly.
Black
So yeah,
suit,
that's
yeah.
all very strange. I don't like the Cyberman silent killing mode either. That upsets me.
Upsets you?
It does upset me. These big clanky things, and they've got a silent mode.
Oh yeah. I mean, even my Hoover's got a silent mode, mate.
Yeah, but it's not silent, is it?
It's not silent, but you know, neither's a silencer. It helps, but it doesn't silence it completely.
Don't know how I feel about all that.
Yeah. That was quite cool though, that they, kind of go for a little makeout session in the closet instead of getting coffee and end up as Cybermen lunch. Quite enjoyed that.
If you see sheets being hung in a construction site and a red glowing light coming from behind it, just avoid it, I reckon.
Yeah, I mean, worst case scenario, it's a Cyberman. Best case scenario, someone's probably welding, which again, you don't really want to fuck with the welder.
No, exactly.
Leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Just think, oh yeah, no.
Well, they're rebels though, aren't they? They're having fun.
I mean, they can make fun elsewhere. And to be honest, if they think there's someone else there, I mean, it's a bit weird, isn't it? Oh, we're going to make out right next to this person.
I just want to say as well, that is the ugliest messaging service I've ever seen in my life. A separate window for an inbox and then a separate one for an outbox. No, it's worse. It's awful.
I mean, again, it's very early. Well, it's mid noughties by this point, but yeah, no, it's not the greatest, but
worst thing I've ever seen.
I don't know. It wasn't too bad. And then the Doctor turns into a Ghostbuster.
Okay, so I have a question here. Do they have to pay Ghostbusters for that? They must do, right?
I would have thought some kind of royalty. Yeah, some kind of royalty. So.
How much do you reckon that costs?
I don't know. I'm assuming like the more you use it, the more expensive it gets. Whereas if you just mention it in, I don't know, like a passing fleet or something, then it's probably a tenner and a packet of Walkers or something. But I don't know, like, yeah. I'm guessing it wasn't cheap though.
It can't have been, right? That must have inflated.
They didn't use any music or anything though, so.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but it's a mention though, isn't it? And I don't know if Ghostbusters is copyrighted.
I wouldn't think Doctor Who would have the budget for a big.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
If anybody knows, please write in.
Gonna Google it quickly.
Oh, that's what I'm just doing now.
All right. Well, let's try and keep the flow going. We get our first mention of Alonzi, Bradley.
Yes, my favourite Doctor Who saying of all time. Classically part of David Tennant's Doctor.
Yeah, it becomes his catchphrase
That's the
throughout.
word, catchphrase. Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it? And you know how, I mean, I don't want to, it's not really spoil anything, but it's his catchphrase throughout all of his series, and then it comes to a very good end at the end, isn't it?
Well, which is foreshadowed in this exact one, right?
It is, yeah, he does say. He said he asked the woman that tortured, she has anyone called Alonzo.
Yeah, so it comes full circle.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, just going back to the copyright thing, like you're there. Yeah. I can't find anything about the name, but there was an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which is not a series I've seen, but I know it's a pretty popular one. Yeah. They used the Ghostbusters theme song.
Yeah.
And apparently that cost between $70,000 and $80,000.
Yeah, that's the theme tune. No, I don't think you have to pay it just to mention it.
I don't think you have to pay it to mention it, but if they were to use the theme tune, I mean, that's a fucking hefty bill, isn't it?
That is a hefty bill for what is presumably a 2-second joke.
Yeah, interesting. No, I did like the Doctor's kind of straight away saw there was ghosts, thought something's a little bit fucky, and then decided to investigate, which I like. That is, I think, what I like about the Doctor. He doesn't accept anything. He wants to make his own. He wants to make his own conclusions. You know what I mean? Which I really do like. He just doesn't. If someone tells him this is it, he's like, I'm going to work that out for myself. If that is it,
Yeah, which is fair enough.
Which I do like, and I agree with the Doctor. I do think the ghosts is a pretty horrific thing.
What do you mean?
Well, like, I mean, even if they were like, I mean, we find out later that the ghosts are actually the Cybermen, but like, if it was the ghosts of your like relatives and anything, I think that's a pretty messed up thing to be doing.
This is not real. Ghosts aren't real.
Yeah, well, I don't know, mate. I'm pretty sure we caught one on a ghost hunting tour, but
Beep, 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 beep.
but yeah. So anyway, so the if they like, let's just say for example, they were real, and they if they were the ghosts of the relatives of people living around the world, I think that's a pretty messed up thing to be doing.
From who? Like Torchwood? Do you think it's a pretty messed up thing for Torchwood to be doing?
Yeah, because Torchwood genuinely think that they're releasing the ghosts of people through it.
I don't know if Torchwood do think that.
I don't actually know what the reason for Torchwood doing it is. I don't know how they benefit from it.
They're just investigating, I think, is the point that he comes to. Because he's like the whole, and you, what do? You see a big hole and you poke it, you're classic humans. I think it's just like investigative, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, he triangulates. Go on.
I was gonna say, I was gonna move on to that. He triangulates it and then again makes a conclusion, works out what's going on, and then finds Torchwood.
Yeah, and as we're reminded in Love and Monsters, because it's a good and important episode, the Doctor is a known entity in this universe.
Mm-hmm. He is.
And he gets a round of applause. And I love that bit where it starts off hating it, and then by the end of it, he's absolutely loving the applause.
Oh, I don't know. I felt that was sarcastic.
No, he's loving it. He's got an ego. He's a narcissist.
It kind of, to me, that kind of felt like, when you finish a flight and the plane lands and then you hear that one person clapping and you just think, you were dropped on on your head as a kid, wouldn't you? So something traumatic happened. I mean, you just got all these armed guys there and they're just like, yeah, we're just going to clap.
It is a little bit strange, but what do you think of Jackie becoming the temporary companion?
Oh, swap. I love it.
Brilliant. She's brilliant.
I want more Jackie as the companion. She's just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. On the thing I will say though is the Doctor slags off her tea, but Jackie's tea saved the Doctor.
Oh, mate, I love that you remember that.
True.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, that's a bit of a dick move by the Doctor. Jackie's tea actually saved the Doctor in the Christmas special.
Mate, I'm very glad you're paying attention and keeping notes and stuff.
Yeah, and like talking of paying attention as well, I was recently watching Gen V as well, which is a series on Amazon Prime, and there's a joke where they're going around, and the main leader, she doesn't know the name of the grunts, like the security guards and everything. She keeps getting them wrong, but I really like how Yvonne knew all of the names of everyone. Didn't matter if they were top scientists or just like a low-level security guy.
Oh, it's very new age wank, though, isn't it? Like, I bet Torchwood has like a well-being day, just a load of nonsense.
No, I don't know. I think I think it shows that she is very the role that she takes. She's very proud of that role, and she wants to do everything she can to extend being in that role. And like saying as minor as like knowing people's names, that goes a long way. Like, I've been in positions before where like you've got people above you that don't know your name, and they're just like, they're just at the time I got called boy, and that was it. Like, and it was just like that's a bit wank. But then like, suddenly you get that kind of
little boy.
So, yeah, no, that's it. And then like you get someone that actually knows your name, and you're like, there's no reason for you to know me, not my name. But I like that. I respect that. And then
see, I thought this was more a comment on like your Microsofts and your Amazon or whatever was the equivalent back in the day. Because it's like they preach all this goodness and they preach all this, we're good for our employees, all this nonsense. And yet they're fucking punching a hole in the rift trying to create ghosts, or, they're a billionaire that smokes weed all the time. And yeah, he talks about wellness, but actually he's profiting off not paying his fucking employees a decent wage, Like, I don't know, man. I thought that was more that's what do they say? A lamb dressed in sheep's clothing.
Do you mean a wolf?
A wolf dressed? No, a lamb. A lamb. No, mutton dressed as lamb. Sorry, mutton dressed as lamb. To say.
Yeah, are you sure it's not a wolf in sheep's clothing? I'm sure it's a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Mutton dressed as lamb. Mutton dressed as lamb is what I'm trying to say. Is where you're presenting yourself to be prettier than you are when you're just a bit trash, really.
Yeah, a wolf in sheep's clothing is an idiom, whatever that means, from Jesus' Sermon on the Mount, as narrated in the Gospel of Matthew. There you go. God said it, or Jesus said it. I think we should take that
just
one.
For reference as well, mutton dressed as lamb is a middle-aged or old woman dressed in a style suitable for a younger woman. So I don't
That's a
think
bit
that's
of
the
you,
right
innit?
say there.
Very good. So
Love
anyway,
it.
um,
So yeah, so Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. I will say though, apologies to any Yvonne's listing, but Yvonne's a bit of an evil name, though, isn't it?
what do you mean?
Very old name.
It's a very old name, but I've only met two Yvonnes in my life, and they were both kind of pretty mean people.
I don't think I know any Yvonnes.
As if you're just outing your Yvonnes
Two
in
mean
this.
Yvonnes have you met?
Oh yeah, I don't know. It just seems like every time there's an Yvonne on TV or something, like I don't know, Yvonne's are pretty.
Wait, so are you saying Yvonnes you've met in real life or Yvonnes you've seen on the telly?
Both.
You said
I
you've
can't
met two
comment 'cause I
Yvonnes.
don't know any Yvonne.
I
Yeah,
don't
I've
know
met
any
two Yvonnes
Yvonnes.
in real life, but then every time I'm just trying to think of an Yvonne that, but it just I don't know. It just always seems like a bit of a evil name. As I said, apologies to any Yvonnes listening. I'm sure you're lovely people, but
And the two that
Yeah.
you've met before.
yeah,
Oh, so-
yeah, I don't know. It just seems like a bit of a thing. I like that Canary Wolf is now Torchwood though.
Yeah. That's we sort of spoke about that in our Tortured episode. Yeah, cool setting, I guess. Well, it doesn't really matter.
I don't know. I mean, what else is Canary Wolf used for now?
Wonder why it then goes to Wales.
Oh,
Because of
that's
the riff.
explained in Torch. Oh, don't
Oh,
tell him. He's
yeah,
got to
the riff.
watch it.
I
He
have seen it.
knows
I just can't.
this.
I've not watched it in so long.
Yeah.
Watched it years.
I do like because kind of there's always the thing, isn't it? Like whether it be Jurassic Park or Jaws or I'm just trying to think Avatar or something like that. There's always something that could be avoided had scientists not meddled with what they were meddling with.
Yeah, okay.
What do you mean?
Well, like you think of right, what was the examples I just gave? Jurassic Park. They shouldn't have remade the dinosaurs, and then the dinosaurs got loose, ate everyone, took over the island. Avatar.
I've
They
never
wanted
seen
to. You've never seen Jurassic
What?
Park?
No.
Fuck off.
I saw one of the new ones. One of the new ones with Chris Pratt.
Are you
I mean,
taking the piss?
Have you really?
No,
Have you
genuinely
never
not.
seen any of the Jurassic Parks?
No.
Mate,
Wow.
that's unbelievable.
I've also never seen Avatar, so
Avatar shit.
Yeah, I like the first one. I've not seen the second one, but
I'm not even joking. Brad, you should watch Jurassic Park and we should do an episode on it.
really?
we got to do Jurassic
random.
Park, man.
I would fucking
Oh,
love
anyway.
it. I'm reading the book Jurassic Park as we speak. Not as we speak, but I'm currently reading the book.
You know, there's a film out about it. You could just watch that.
No, we've just binged them all because they're all on Now TV, except for the fifth one. I don't know why. They're just missing the
What
fifth
was the
one.
fifth one?
The Fallen Kingdom.
Oh, yeah, that's
Really
the one
that
with Chris
many?
Pratt in it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's just not on there for some reason. So yeah, I get the book, reading the book. We should do an episode on it. I'd be well up for that.
Yeah, no, I'll be on it. I just genuinely, I'm astounded that Brad hasn't seen Jurassic Park. Wow.
I would say
Yeah.
genuinely, not even taking the piss, it is one of the best films of all time.
Oh,
Does
for
it still
sure.
hold up? Because it's quite old, isn't it?
It
Still holds
fucking
up.
more than holds up, man.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll give it a watch.
Anyway, the point is, scientists they mess around making the dinosaurs take over. Had they not messed around with the dinosaurs, nobody would
Spoilers,
have been
Jack.
eaten.
Come on.
Anyway, same thing with this, right? Had they not fucked around with the portal, it wouldn't have split open, caused all this bollocks and everything like that, which I like because the Doctor then calls their bluff.
Yeah, that's a
'Cause he
good bit.
sits there-
I like that.
He sits there and he goes, "Oh, that's all right, I'll just sit here and watch," which
Yeah,
I really
yeah.
like because he knows he holds all the cards. He knows that they know who he is. But yeah, and of course, if you're someone like Yvonne, that you're in charge, you've got all this knowledge about Torchwood and the Doctor and everything like that. If the Doctor sits there cockily and goes, "I'll sit here and watch it," go on, you do what you want. You should probably back off.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I really like. I thought that was really good. Yeah, and I like that. Then we get Rose. Yeah, of course, Rose then sneaks out of the TARDIS, and she gets the old psychic papers, doesn't she?
She does, yeah. But everybody's
don't
got a
work.
mild level psychic paper training
Yeah.
or whatever they say.
And how does that work? I mean, do you just sit there and just do like mind maths, like on a computer, until you can levitate your stapler? Or...
Well, presumably it's like a Jedi mind trick where it doesn't work on the weak-minded, right?
Well, like a Trodarian, you know. I'm a Trodarian. Jedi mind tricks do not work on me. No, Phantom
Such a
Menace.
fucking geek.
I don't watch Star Wars.
You're such a fucking geek. Unbelievable.
I like Star Wars, man. I'm sorry.
Okay, so JP, were you surprised by the return of Mickey?
I was actually, yes.
Did you clock him in the background?
Didn't clock him in the background. No. I did think that he may have. I was, when there was a Cyberman that was shown, I was like, well, instantly I clocked back to the whole reason that Mickey stayed in the parallel universe was to hunt down the Cybermen. So I thought, well, maybe he's leaked over and they're going to do like a bit like of a time, like, you know, kind of a universe swap over thing. And so it was quite nice to see Mickey, but at the same time, I was like, that makes sense that he's there. If the Cyberman's there, then so can Mickey. But yeah, no, it was a nice surprise. I thought it was pretty cool.
And the other guy that's down there, who is he? I recognise his face, but I don't know from where, and I didn't Google it.
Yeah, I think I know as well.
The scientist or the
Yeah, the scientist, the guy that's obsessed with the sphere, Raj or whatever his name is.
I'll have a quick Google.
Yeah, God, you have a Google. We'll keep talking. Yeah, no, quite cool with the sphere. I will say, Brad can back me up on this. I clocked it was Dalek straight away.
That's because they gave it away in the next time trailer.
No, I'm pretty sure it didn't. There was no
Dalek
Dalek in the next one.
They 100.
No
they show someone being shot by a Dalek beam and doing the skeleton thing, so it must have been in your subconscious.
Oh, maybe then.
Maybe.
Because I was quite annoyed, to be fair.
I clocked that straight away because it was like they were sitting there, and then the Doctor was like, "Oh, well, this travels like kind of in between universes and everything like that." And I was like, "Well, it's obviously got to be a villain that we've come across before." And I was like, "Well, it can't be the Devil because the Devil kind of, I don't think they would have gone for that." So I was like, "It's got to be the Daleks because the Daleks hid all of their ships in the season 1 finale."
Yeah. Good pick
So I
up,
was like,
to be fair, JP.
It's got to be them because they're the only ones that have got the technology to do that. And of course, it wouldn't have been the Cybermen because why would a Cyberman be hiding in a sphere but then have one out and about? So yeah, so I really like that. I did like though it was proper group. You know what they get with the earbuds? Of course, they got the Cybermen earbuds, and then she pulls it out, and then just like half the brain comes with it. I was like, oh, that's a bit squidgy.
It's quite grim, isn't it? Yeah. Do we see that in Age of Cyberman, or is that the first time we see the brain?
No, that's the first time we see them like kind of pulling it out. Like Age of Cyberman didn't show anything like that, which I thought was cool. And then of course it's revealed that the ghosts are actually Cybermen.
Good reveal.
I really like that. I thought that was cool. But then I couldn't understand why a ghost would be upstairs.
Well.
They run upstairs and there's just a Cyberman there, and I'm like, why was the ghost upstairs? It's just the ghost of your happy hands uncle, you know. Yeah.
Just to go back to the guy in the thing, I'm going to guess where you recognise him from, Josh, is actually Waterloo Road.
Oh, who is he in Waterloo Road?
He's apparently only in one episode, but he's I think he's someone's dad or something.
Oh, okay.
But, I mean, he's in loads of other stuff. He's in Coronation Street, Hollyoaks, Holby City, Casualty. He's in loads of stuff.
Oh, he does the rounds on British TV, does he?
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Oh, fair enough. So yeah, that leads us on to Daleks versus Cybermen.
Yeah. Which I put the first note I had of the second part was a bit fucking dramatic, ain't it?
Yeah.
It's all very like kind of like, yeah, I'm not saying that the ending of part 1 wasn't dramatic or anything, but they kind of really like amped it up. It was, it almost made me think of part 2 of what's the one called, the hell one?
Satan's Pit.
Satan's
Pit. That's it. Yeah. So the start of Satan's Pit, where at the end of the Impossible Planet, it was like kind of, oh yeah, well, we might shoot them, we might not, I don't know. And then at the start of Satan's Pit, it's like, oh my god, bullets are flying everywhere, we're running, we're doing this, and it was like, what do we miss in between? You know, people just woke up. But yeah, no, I did kind of think that it just kind of was just, you know, straight up and at it. But I like the Daleks. And it was really interesting as well because it showed that the Daleks can be bargained with.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, let's talk about that then, because we see, well, yeah, like, so Rose is character development in this. Like, so the Christmas episode, she does a big speech to the Sycorax. Do you remember? And she's shit at it.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden now she's back to, she's fending off the fucking Daleks. Like, it's my argument that she got reset at the start of this series. She should have been this confident the entire way through, I think.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that, but I did like it though. That it's kind of it has shown her character arc in the fact that, as you say with the cigarette, she's just kind of she fumbled around a bit and that was it. But this, she genuinely bargained with merciless killing machines.
Yeah.
Which I really like. I mean, that takes a special kind of thing to do, especially with the Daleks, where they're not supposed to have any emotions or anything like that. I really like that. I was almost surprised that the Cybermen could actually be blown up.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know. I just always thought that they were kind of invincible, and then suddenly they just pitched Dalek against Cybermen. Which, by the way, how hilarious was that?
Oh, the little sassy first meeting.
The little sassy Dalek. That is something I didn't know I needed, was a little sassy Dalek. Going about, this isn't a war, this is just pest control. I was like, wow. I was like, Daleks have got humour. I like that. Yeah, it just kind of just upped it a little bit. And I think that's what I really liked about this two-parter, that they just kept going up and up and up. It was just like, okay, you've got this strange, kind of mystery ghosts. Then you've got this mystery about who's Torchwood, what's going to happen about the Rift, what's going to happen, who's in the sphere. Then you've got a teaser about the Cybermen, so you're like, oh, how does the Cybermen fit in? Then you've got Mickey, then the sphere opens, and it keeps going up and up and up and up until it gets to that final scene with Rose being saved by Pete.
Yeah, which we'll get to. We will get to.
We'll get to. I just across the two-parter, it was top quality. But yeah, and then something I said to Brad while we was watching. Of course, they then get led away by the Cybermen to be, what do they call it? Reprogrammed or
upgraded?
Upgraded. That's it. They go away to get upgraded. I said to Brad, surely you'd take a chance and just try and run.
No, because you get shot.
As we can see, they can get knocked over pretty easily in the
but like at the end of the day, though, like I'd rather die a free man than
I don't know.
Have my brain taken out.
And Jackie just darts out of there anyway. She's just like, oh no,
she just runs out.
Yeah, it was Jackie in it. She's skillful.
See you later, Yvonne. I'm out of there.
Yeah, that was it. The duty thing was quite cute. I like that. But
I did my duty.
Yeah, did my duty. That was quite cute. I like that.
It was all right.
Didn't really get though, because she shouldn't have had any emotion and shouldn't have remembered.
And she shouldn't have started crying. Yeah, I don't know. It's not really explained, is it?
Oh yeah, I was going to get to that bit with the crying Cybermen. A bit weird, but fair enough.
Really possible, but
yeah. Why was it oil? Why would there be an oil duct up there?
That's what I mean. It's just stupid. But anyway,
fucking Harriet Jones gets a little mention in there.
I've got so much to say about this. It's ridiculous.
Well, Harriet Jones, the Returned, kind of episode 6, Return of Harriet Jones.
Well, save that for a later series. But yeah, so Pete says we're in a golden age and Harriet Jones has taken over, which leads me, I've mentioned this theory before. The Doctor fucks up this universe because Christopher Eccleston says Harriet Jones, she takes over, she does 4 terms, and then you enter the golden age, and then there's space travel, blah, 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 blah. And then none of that ends up happening. And then we obviously cut to Pete's world, and they are in the golden age, and Harriet Jones is prime minister. So the Doctor fucks up this universe. It's a real theory.
Yeah, no,
that does help that.
I could see that. It's kind of like I think the best kind of equivalent that I could think of was the Watcher in Marvel.
Yeah, okay.
He can't intervene. He's not allowed to. He could intervene, but he's not allowed to because he's got to leave things to just play out the way that they're supposed to. And had the Doctor not intervened at anything, it would have played out like that.
Yeah, but then if the Doctor hadn't intervened, the world would have been destroyed many times over. He has to intervene.
Yeah, but you rebuild.
Not if the whole world gets wiped out.
But if this is a parallel universe where Harriet Jones is prime minister, so then technically you would assume Aliens of London and World War III happen the same. because it had to happen the same for her to become prime minister.
Other
Therefore, there
led
must
to her being prime minister, though.
Yeah, of course he did.
No, other things could have led to it. Like, it doesn't have to be the same thing. It's a parallel world. Other things can still happen, but the same outcome still happens.
Okay, I guess so. I would, but I think it's supposed to be similar enough that it probably did happen the same way. But this parallel universe, right? So it doesn't, like Pete says 3 years ago, the Cybermen disappeared, right? Does that mean that this universe is now 3 years ahead of our universe? Because it's supposed to be parallel.
No, I just think there was 3 years in between, because you got to remember the Doctor and Rose can jump time.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's never referenced what the date or time of it, anything is.
I think it is at one point. I think it's firmly set in, because it's set in 2008, because it's a year ahead because of the year that the Doctor fucked up in Aliens of London and World War III. Yes, I think it's canonically it's 2008, which means only 6 months or whatever has passed since that episode, but 3 years have passed.
Surely that would have been
universe.
2005, no? The series 1 episodes, no?
Yeah, sorry, yeah. So it released in 2006, but it's set in 2007.
Yeah, but there's nothing. There's nothing stopping when the Doctor and Rose went to the parallel universe. There's nothing saying that was 3 years behind what.
Yeah, there could be time
the
jumps.
Actual universe. Yeah, they could have time jumped as well.
I guess so. Okay, yeah, that's fair enough. I just thought it was weird. Why say 3 years have passed? Like,
well, to show that they've obviously been, kind of, it's been a very difficult problem to solve for the Cybermen.
I guess so. And then my only other bit on this is Pete says, we're suffering a global warming, or it's not just global warming, but the temperature has increased 2 degrees in the past 6 months.
Yeah.
That's not global warming. That's summer, for fuck's sake. Like, you can't gauge anything off that. That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. I like the incursion kind of thing. The because of this, kind of portal that had opened and this rift that had come across, it's causing one of the planets to, like, kind of one of the worlds to actually destroy itself.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be able to tell, like, 6 months ago, it was 2 degrees hotter than it is now, for sure. It was probably 10 degrees hotter than it was now.
Yeah, but they do it on average per month, don't they?
I don't know. I think it was strange. I think it was strange.
That's why we always get, it's like the hottest winter that we've ever had and all that stuff. They do it like on average. So it wouldn't be necessarily
based off the past like 10 years, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, but like 2 degrees is quite it's normally like 0.1 or something like that. 2 degrees is quite significant.
Maybe. But anyway, JP, seeing as you were on you managed to catch the Daleks, did you work out what that Genesis arc was?
No, I didn't realize it was a prison. I thought it was obviously something to do with the Doctor, but I had no idea it was technically a prison ship. Which
I tried to give many hints.
Did you?
Yeah, I kept saying it's Time Lord technology. I said, "What's it going to be?"
Oh yeah, no, I thought it was going to be some kind of like portal or something like that. But just quickly going back a little bit there, because of course before we get to the actual arch and it being revealed that it is actually an imprisonment, kind of thing for the Daleks. It seems that the Cybermen fight briefly on the side of the humans. How
sick is that?
I don't know how they managed to do that though, because the Cybermen were like, "Oh yeah, we're just going to take over everything." Like, surely you'd be, I don't know, why would the Cybermen fight with the humans? I don't know.
The enemy of the enemy is my friend. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Take out the Daleks first, and then deal with the humans.
Then you take out the humans.
Yeah, exactly. I thought that makes sense, and I thought that was awesome watching them walk in with those Cybermen guns. I thought that was sick.
Yeah, no, that was cool. That was cool. And then we'll cover it briefly before we run out of time. My boy Mickey lets me down.
Oh, it's not his fault.
I mean, fucking hell! How clumsy can you be?
But also, they would have blown up the universe trying to break into it. So he did the world a favor.
I think he could have just minded his footing a bit, really. And in fact, I don't think he tripped over anything.
No, he gets knocked by a Cyberman. He gets knocked by a Cyberman.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think that was proper clumsy. It was like, oh no, he's fallen over. Oh, he's touched it. Brilliant. Okay.
The other thing is when you see Mickey and when they're standing upstairs and the Doctor's doing his thing. I think I might be jumping ahead a bit here, but my notes are a bit all out of the place. Mickey says to Jake, "See, I told you he was good." Jake knows this. You've spent an episode with each other.
Yeah, that was a bit of a weird line. No, that was a bit of a weird line. But
then Jake doesn't really see the Doctor do much, does he? Because he's with Mickey the whole time. He's not been there.
No, I don't know. He sort of works out everything. He comes up with a plan. Fine, but strange. But so I sort of jumped over that. But then we get reunited with the crew from Pete's World.
Yeah,
and I just have a note that it shouldn't be called Pete's World. It should be called Peter Planet.
Pete's Planet, did you say?
No, Peter's Planet. Like Pizza Planet.
Pizza Planet from Toy Story.
I prefer Pete's World. I quite like Pete's World.
Pete's World. Oh, my Pete!
Actually.
I just kept doing that the entire time I was watching it. I was like, oh, my Pete!
Oh, Pete!
I want to talk about these weird dimension hopping things. When do they just teleport you, and when do they teleport everybody wearing one?
Yeah, that's a good question, to be fair.
I don't know, maybe this is now the button.
There must be a little switch.
A little switch that says, take everybody with you, or just take yourself.
Everyone, or just me.
Like a Bluetooth connection, like, kind of like connect. Like you have to hold the button in to connect.
Oh, okay.
And then it goes like find another Bluetooth.
I don't like these little things that we're finding in Doctor Who that's pulling it apart now. I'm not a fan. It's ruining my childhood.
Now we have to talk about something that we've been talking about all season, and it actually becomes quite important to this. The glasses.
Yeah, but they're completely different. The only time glasses are even relevant, and they're not even the same ones.
Yeah. I mean, it's very weird that he just pulls out these 3D glasses that just detect, kind of void energy and everything. Like, that's a very, very specific thing to have.
Yeah, and again, I think this should have been foreshadowed further in the season, no?
Yeah, I agree with this one, to be fair.
Like just pulling them out in the last episode. I remember there was a newspaper, I think it must have been like Radio Times or something, before the internet was big, theorizing on what these glasses could be, because I think they were like seen in the Next Time trailer, and everybody obviously got it completely wrong. But it's also like, they're from the void. Why are you wearing these glasses?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of does.
It only proves who's not been through there, I guess. That's the only use of it.
Yeah, well, no, because it gives.
No, but it gives a little thing, doesn't it? Because it says, like, it builds up the tension for the finale when they open the portal to suck everything back in. Because they're like, oh, everything that's been through the void will be sucked into this pool.
I think it's also just a good, easy way of explaining something, because that's the issue I had with some future series Doctor Who. There's a lot of random stuff that goes on that never gets explained. I think this just explains it really well and really easily.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's a convenience. It's a convenient plot point, isn't it?
I guess so. But anyway, no actual spectacles in this episode, which is upsetting.
No, 3D glasses.
Come back next series where we debate it further.
Yeah,
maybe those glasses are just foreshadowing the 3D ones.
Maybe, but he carries on wearing them next series, doesn't he?
Oh, does he? I don't know.
There you go. We then, of course, come to the bit where the Doctor, like, kind of forces Rose to go through to the parallel universe, which I think, I don't know, it's a bit of a dick move, isn't it? He kind of takes her choice away from her.
I mean, all right, the question is, what do you do? What do you boys do in this situation? Do you go with the family, or do you go with your boyfriend of 1 year?
They're not even boyfriend and girlfriend, are they? But then it's not about that. It's about being with a time traveler. You can go anywhere in the world. So why couldn't she stay with the Doctor and then always go back in time or something to see her parents? Whatever.
Yeah. JP?
Fair point. Yeah, no, it's a fair point. I mean, you've probably got more chance of keeping everything together as normal as possible if you was to stay with the Doctor. Because even though they go to the family goes to a parallel universe, let's be real, they've already been over there once anyway. And I know that the Doctor said that everything's being all stitched up and once it's there, it's done. But there's still a slim chance that they may make it over.
I still think chances are there's another Doctor in that parallel universe.
Would it be a bad shout, to be honest? Yeah, would it be a bad shout?
If there's a Torchwood in that other universe, there just has to be. Take your chances. Go. You can't just ditch your family. I'm sorry. Even for a time traveler, you can't. But I also have another solution to this. Let them all stay in this universe, but make them go and wait it out in the TARDIS.
That's actually not a bad.
That's a good point.
What?
Why don't they just go to the TARDIS?
I can't find
Why
any flaw in
is
that.
Rose?
I hate this. Stop finding these little plot holes.
Why is Rose hanging on for dear life, risk of death? Just Rose, go and wait in the TARDIS. I'll be down in 10 minutes. Do you know what I mean?
If we don't have the time to get to the TARDIS. It's too far away.
Oh, don't give me that.
If Daleks
bullshit.
around as well, could get shot by the Daleks.
No,
they're
don't give
flying
me
everywhere,
this
mate.
shit.
Because the
It's-
TARDIS
yeah,
is
I
still
think
in the
it's too
building.
risky.
Yeah, exactly. The TARDIS is in the building.
The only
Yeah,
Daleks
like
that were in
50
the
floors
building.
down.
Take
Yeah.
the lift.
There you
Aren't
go.
working.
Also,
Oh,
when
as
all
you
this
know.
kicks off, they're on the ground floor anyway. It's only when they start bumping into Jackie, then they take the lift up. Stick
That's
them all
right.
in the
They never get down
TARDIS
to
from the
ground-
start.
They're never on the ground floor. What are you on about?
Yeah, when the
go
doctor
That's where the
picks up,
TARDIS is.
when the doctor picks up the mag clamp, that's the ground floor, or that's the same level that the TARDIS is on anyway, for sure.
It's on the bottom.
Yeah, I think it's the same level. Yeah.
And he picks up the magnetic clamp thing, so he knows his plan. By the way, he picks up 2. He knew Rose was staying. Just tell her to wait it out in the TARDIS, for fuck's sake.
I can't find any flaw in your logic there, mate. I think that's
Really frustrates me.
a
I won't
great
lie.
idea.
I'm annoyed now. This whole thing could have just been prevented. The whole
Exactly.
finale's pointless.
It
Yeah,
really is.
Thanks for ruining this episode.
I tell you what, that has to be. If we ever do a teaser clip for that, that has got to be there. Just Brad just saying you've ruined this episode.
That's the soundbite for this episode.
That's the soundbite. Yeah. No, I can't find any flaw in your logic, mate.
Absolutely
That-
fuming.
Anyway, the doctor doesn't.
Yeah.
To be fair, I've had nearly 20 years to think that idea up. The doctor was a bit stressed out at the time, so I'm sure we can forgive him.
I'm still sure that they would have been killed by Dalek if they went down to the TARDIS.
But they were there already.
What do you mean they were there already?
They were on the same
there.
level. When he got the clamps, that was the same level, and then they went up to the top.
Anyway, so yeah, what
But
do you
the
think?
TARDIS has been through the void, so why didn't the TARDIS come in?
Well, just another
The
plot hole
TARDIS
now
should have
there,
got
Brad.
sucked in.
Yeah.
I suppose
Maybe
with
the
the TARDIS, you could probably argue it's this dimension hopping, time traveling thing. Maybe it's got a
That makes-
resilience to it.
So are the Cybermen and the Daleks, technically.
Yeah, but they're
They
not
pop
like a
through different
ship designed
universes.
to be traveling. Do you know what I mean?
It's just convenient, isn't it, that the TARDIS doesn't fly through?
Well, it's convenient that he doesn't put anyone in the fucking TARDIS. It's a shit finale.
So
It's the
annoying.
shittest finale yet.
Yeah, it is. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, you've blown this thing wide open, mate.
I'm so annoyed. I don't even want to
All
talk
right,
about it
then.
anymore.
Let's bring it
Oh.
back round to the good stuff then. Jackie and Pete's reunion. Brilliant.
That's the best bit.
That's
Yeah.
cute. Yeah, that's
It
cute.
pretty much makes the episode, to be fair.
Yeah, it was nice. It was weird that it was in a corridor, but yeah, no, it was nice. It was cute.
Also,
No, I just
And
love
again-
the bit where Jackie goes, when Jackie says about, or when Pete says about how he's rich, and Jackie's like,
Oh.
don't care about that. How rich?
how very. Just on that bit though, Pete takes out 2 Cybermen with 1 shot. Pretty mad. How's that? That's
Yeah.
never explained.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's
Pete
wrong
just
with
got
that?
lucky. I guess beginner's luck.
Beginner's luck, trick shot.
Yeah.
360 no scope.
Trick shots only. He just was in a fucking UAV, you know.
All right then, let's talk about the ending. And again, I do have something that I'm going to pick a hole in it, but let's just talk
Mhm.
about it as a whole. What
Ah.
do you think of Rose slipping and falling into the void, or not falling into the void? Emotional, JP? Oh no, I tell you
Well-
what. Let's hold there, because that's not the emotional bit. How does Pete know she's falling?
Well, I think we've got to go back slightly
Oh.
further than that, because when something I said about Rose right from the beginning is she obviously has some kind of superhuman strength, and it's on display there. And I love the little callback to the fact that she's being sucked into this void, yet manages to push a lever away from it while managing to keep herself. Like, imagine trying to pull
finding
on.
holes.
Like, imagine trying to pull on something but push it at the same time.
Yeah. Well, we can put that down to her gymnastic days, no?
Gymnastic days, yeah. I mean, fucking, yeah. I mean, the core strength must be incredible because I don't think it's possible to being pulled on something while pushing it. I don't think
No,
that's
I
possible.
agree. It
But I
doesn't
love the
make
little
any
callback.
sense.
Yeah, I love the little callback there. But yeah, no, Pete just she slips and it's like, oh my god, the prophecies come true. And then, as I said in my notes, oh my Pete. Oh, my
Did you
Pete.
think she was
Oh, my
genuinely?
Pete.
Did you think she was a goner, JP?
At that point, I did. I'm happy to say that I did because that actually provided a little bit of a, like a little bit of a kind of a fist pump, like, oh yeah, she's still alive, kind of thing, which I like. I thought that was quite nice. It was
So presumably Pete just was popping back to make sure everything was all right, and he just thought, "Oh fuck me, Rose is flying towards me."
Oh my god! Yeah, like, literally. Yeah,
Just go back and check on him. Yeah, and he's like, "Oh fuck."
Gets swatted by Rose on the way through, and he's like, "Oh,
well, yeah, he didn't even catch her. He just got taken out by her. That'd be brilliant.
Right place, right time. That's all
Just
I'm
goes
saying.
for the knees, just takes him out of the knees. He's just like, he just comes back, he's hobbling back, and like Jackie's like, "Where's Rose?" And he's like, "Don't fucking start."
He wakes up in the next universe and he's got a fucking concussion.
Yeah.
What do you call it in American football? He's been sacked.
Well, I mean, it's more of a kind of a blindside hit, really, because you're not looking. But yeah, no, that was it was a convenient, like, he just turned up at the right place at the right time. Fuck knows how he knew it.
No, exactly. Doesn't make any sense and it's never explained.
No,
Just
not explained.
It, all right. It's a good series, good finale.
It's a good finale. The ending was, it was sad, I guess. I don't really find things sad on TV.
When they're
no, it's fucking heartbreaking. The fact that they didn't even get to say goodbye. It's seeing the Doctor, just his face is just, it's brutal, man.
Yeah,
it is. It's so emotional.
He doesn't get to say "I love you," you know.
Well, is that what he was going to say? Is that what he was going to say?
Yeah, of course it was.
There you go. Called and spread. Of course it was.
Come on.
So, yeah, he burns up a son to say goodbye. What do you think of the whole? To be fair, Rose has got it pretty cushy. She's now living with a millionaire. The thing that annoys me, again, I'm picking another hole in this. They call a Land Rover a Jeep. That pisses me off.
Yeah, that was a bit shit, but
does that matter?
It just pisses me off.
It's an old called Land Rover Jeeps.
No, that's a
the old
Defender.
style was just called they were just like the old styles were called were they called series
sure
or were they
called Land Rover Jeep?
No, there's no such thing. Jeep is the American brand that was designed in the army. It upsets me. But yeah, what do you think of the whole, she had a dream and she follows the voice, or she follows the dream, or it gets louder the closer they get? I don't know how that works.
Look, do you remember when we used to play Prop Hunt?
Yeah. Just hear a little
all the way to Norway.
Yeah, you just hear a whistle, you're like, fuck, I think that's a couple of 1,000 miles to the west.
And
someone shot, they're whistling. Oh, I think it's nearby, you know, that kind of thing. Just no.
You know, it's behind us now somehow.
He's moving. But no, I did kind of like that. I mean, it did imply through the kind of the little I don't know what you call it, compilation maybe, or like the kind of like it did imply that it wasn't a quick process. They didn't just divert straight there. It took some time, which I like that they took the time to show that it took time, rather than people like us going, well, how the fuck did they know it was there straight away? But I like that.
How did the Doctor then know that she turned up for him to appear?
Well, maybe it comes back to the whole 3-year thing from earlier. Maybe time moves differently in this universe. So, but yeah, you're right. Like, how long has he...
Even when he does do it, he only has a couple of minutes. How did he time that so perfectly?
Oh, he didn't. It's because it took her about 4.5 years to fucking find him. It's like, come on, mate. I've been whistling every 30 seconds for the past 2 years.
Oh, wow. When he wasn't actually there. He only appeared when she was there.
That's true.
That is true. That is true.
All while Jackie and Pete were getting it on.
Up. I thought you said something, JP.
Oh, I just said, oh, while Pete and Jackie were getting it on. Do you reckon they just stopped off at like a, yeah, I don't know, like a little chef toilet or something?
Well, yeah, I presume it happened before they set off in the Land Rover. Mickey and
I think it
Rose
was
just in the
mid-trip.
back, just listening.
Yeah.
I do think that's quite funny where he thinks that Rose is pregnant.
I thought that, to be honest, though. Didn't I say that,
Definitely a
Brad?
little bit jealous as well.
Yeah, she didn't. And then yeah, so they meet on Bad Wolf Bay,
Bad Wolf Bay. Yeah, no, I like the little throwback there. Bad Wolf, yeah.
and it's also Dalek, Strugan, and it's all just coming
Mhm.
together so perfectly.
Yeah.
It is quite sad, isn't it? It is quite emotional.
Well, you know, the doctor's crying, Rose is crying, Mickey's like fucking, he knows he's in there. He's like, I've got rid of that cunt. Thank
He
fuck
don't
for
care.
that.
It's finally the end.
He's finally in. Yeah, I don't know. It was sad, and you know that they don't get to say a proper goodbye and everything like that. But then I think in that scenario, it's probably best not to say goodbye because it's tough.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it is fully quite heartbreaking, to be fair.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. But,
It's very emotional.
yeah, very emotional. Very,
Yeah,
very
that's
sad.
it. So Rose and her family are trapped in this parallel universe. The Doctor is now on his own, or is he? Who's that in
Oh,
a wedding dress in the TARDIS?
Fucking scared the
Whoa.
shit out of me, mate. Fucking hell. Honest to
What do
God,
you
thought it
mean?
was a ghost. I genuinely thought it was a ghost. I was like, fuck me, the ghost is alive. It's a real ghost. And no, it was just Catherine Tate in a wedding dress. But yeah. I don't know. See,
Intrigued for the Christmas special?
I'm intrigued to see what I think of Catherine Tate, to be honest, because the only real exposure I've had to Catherine Tate was from The Office.
Okay, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
The American
Because
Office,
a
yeah.
lot of people watched her in Doctor Who and then watched her in The Office. But of
I
course,
did
I've done
that.
it the opposite way. I've done it the opposite way around. I've watched The Office first before I've seen Doctor Who. So I don't know. I mean, I it was up and down with her character in The Office. You know, at times I liked her and at times I didn't. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of what kind of a companion she is for for the Doctor.
If we jump
Doctor Who's
ahead,
definitely the best thing she's done.
if we jump ahead slightly, Brad, do you remember liking her in the next episode?
I wouldn't say I disliked her, but I don't think this is one of her stronger episodes.
Yeah, I don't remember this Christmas special being that good. I think it's a step up from the last one, but I think it's a bit of an average
It's
episode. And I
definitely
think
better than
she's
the last one.
irritating in it.
Yeah, I don't think it really offers a lot.
Well, I think that pretty much wraps up the episode. JP, have you got anything you want to add?
No, I don't think I do actually. I mean, I thought it was probably the best 2 episodes I've seen of Doctor Who so far.
Wow, really?
I loved, as I said earlier in the episode, it kept adding and adding and adding until it got right to that season, kind of right to the pinnacle where Pete swoops in and saves Rose. And that was
Which
just,
doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't
Don't
make any
say it.
sense, but I liked it.
So compare it to the season 1 finale.
Yeah, I mean, look, the season 1 finale, of course, was there to. I almost feel it was there for a bit of fan service. It was like, look, we are bringing back the Daleks, because a lot of people watching that would have watched the old Who as well, and of course, the Daleks, I think, were probably the most. I would say the Daleks are probably the most recognizable Doctor Who villain there is.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And I feel like season 1, they were like, right, the finale has to be Daleks. We have to bring the Daleks in. And not just one, we've got to show this big invading force and everything like that. But yeah, no, I and of course, at the time as well, they were dealing with Christopher Eccleston passing the Doctor torch on to David Tennant. So they had to incorporate that in. So I feel like that was more focused on fan service and moving on to the next Doctor, whereas this one was more focused on just action and Rose, and they almost felt like that. To me, it almost felt like they had a bigger budget. They had more to play with. They were a little bit like more looser with what they could do, which for me, you could tell.
I can't believe you're saying season 1 has more fan service than the Daleks versus Cybermen. That's as fan service as you can get.
Look, I feel that season 2 well, I say season 2, this season would have been, you'd have. I don't know if old Doctor Who fans would have kept watching. There would have been, like, of course, the majority, but I feel like you would have had some drop out and go, "Oh yeah, no, I'm not carrying on." But this felt like it was for the new Who fans.
Okay, fair enough. And Brad, what do you think? Season 1 or season 2 finale?
Season 2, 100%. If you, I don't think you can take into account all these stupid little holes that you found in it, but as an overall episode, it's unreal. Like Jack says, like, it's dramatic, it's emotional, it's great from start to end. I think it has more to it than series 1 finale is good, but for the end, I feel like the end of Rose was more emotional than the end of Christopher Eccleston. Probably because we've had 2 seasons, we had 1.
Interesting.
But he
That's
was more
mad.
of a.
Yeah.
I still don't. I like Christopher Eccleston's Doctor, but I don't feel as emotional about him leaving because I know who came next.
Yeah,
But I
that's fair
wouldn't.
enough.
I'm not like going. Oh, I really wanted another Christopher Eccleston series.
I genuinely think the season 1 finale hits harder for me. Probably just nostalgia wise. I think it's just, I don't know. I think I have a lot more fun with the season 1 finale than this, but I do get this is, it feels like a totally different show almost, to be fair, even though
Yeah.
you've got
Oh,
same
yeah, for sure.
characters, same villains. It definitely feels like season 1 is a continuation of classic Who, and this is now new Who for sure.
I'd partly agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, look, I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of. I'm in a fortunate position where I'm in the position you guys were, what, 15 years ago?
Yeah.
15, 16 years ago. So, like, kind of, I don't know what's next. Whereas you guys have, of course, had the benefit. You know what happens in season 3, season 4, and onwards. I don't know what's happened next, and I think that's why I'm very worried about, kind of what I'm going to call the end game peak. Where, to me, I feel like it's peaked. I'm like, that was incredible. I haven't seen 2 episodes of Doctor Who that I thought were better yet.
Bloody hell,
I had
really?
fun, trust me.
Yeah, well, like, kind of so far, I've seen 2 seasons worth. I thought that the Impossible Planet and Satan Pit were really good.
They were 2 of the best.
Yeah,
Better than this or worse than this?
worse
Doesn't have
is
the
a strong.
emotion, so
Worse is a strong word because they were still really good, but I do think the season 2 finale was better than the
Wow.
Impossible Planet and Satan Pit.
yeah.
Bold statement. I don't agree with that. I think they're good episodes. These are good episodes, but I do think Satan Pit pips it to the post, to be fair.
Really? But why?
I think it's a more engaging story. I think it's more compelling. I think it's more I don't know. This just didn't hit me in the feels. I think the last sort of 15 minutes is quite good, but I think when you really watch it, there's too many little holes. I think it's
Because you're watching
I
it
think
as you're older now. You
I
wouldn't
think
have
it's
thought
too
that
many holes.
when you was a kid.
Yeah, no, that's fair. But I didn't think it when I was rewatching Satan Pit and Impossible Planet. I also think this feels a little bit slapped on. I think it feels like there's a few episodes missing between this and Fear Her. I also think I'm tainted by Fear Her. I think it put me in a bad mood for this. I don't know. I don't know. It's definitely the weakest. I don't know. I like it still. I think it's very good, but I don't think it's his strongest. I think this season as a whole is pretty weak overall, you know.
Really?
I really do.
think the
Yeah.
season
I'm
was
not
better
going to
than
say
season 1.
it's weak. I'm not going to say it's weak, but only because I know what's coming. I would probably say it is the weaker of David Tennant's series.
Yeah, I think there's
But it's
more
not
bad
weak.
than.
I don't call it weak. It's still a very good series.
See, I would. I think there's more bad than good in it. But when it is good, it's fucking good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway,
See,
we've got the
yeah.
Christmas special to go. And then we'll do like a series 2 rundown review and we'll break it down a little bit more in depth.
Oh God, not another quiz.
There will be
Yeah,
another
quiz.
quiz. There will be another quiz. Don't you even worry about it, boys. But for now, anything to add, boys?
Oh, what the
Nothing
fuck?
from me.
Sorry, that was fucking creepy. A spider just landed on my foot. That was fucking terrifying.
Oh, grim.
Whoa, I don't know where I kicked it. Oh, there's a spider loose.
Well, on that note, we'll let JP go and kill his spider. Oh, love it or hate it, boys.
Love it. That's an obvious thing.
Love it all day long. Clearly obvious.
Yeah, love
Even
it.
after the stupid little
All
holes.
round, I think. I'm sorry that if we've ruined this for anybody, especially you, Bradley.
Yeah.
Join us next week. Well, no, if all goes to plan, the next time we see you, it will be just me and Brad giving you a rundown of the Star Beast or whatever the latest episode is. And then we will see you on Friday for what's it called? The Christmas Invasion? No, we've had that one. The Runaway Bride.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for continuing to listen. Thanks for liking us, for following us, for rating us, reviewing us. Yeah, we really appreciate it. Yeah, that's all from me.
I'm back. Sorry. There we go. I got it. This is the gun. I was not listening to anything that was said then. I was focused on survival.
We were just saying bye.
I was saying bye. All right, guys. No, I apologize for the unprofessional thing there, you know. Yeah, no, guys, really thank you. I'm sure echoing what Josh has said and everything, but thank you so much for the engagement. And yeah, no, we'll see you for is there a Christmas special on Shiver season 2?
Wow, what do you mean? We've mentioned it at least 3 times in this episode.
I was busy fighting a fucking spider. Leave me alone. It landed on my foot. It was fucking scary. But yeah, so we will see you then. Sorry, I'm really distracted now. That was terrifying.
Say.
I really didn't fucking enjoy that. Oh, it was on my toes. That was horrible. Yeah, so anyway, so on that unprofessional ending, thank you so much for listening, guys, and we will catch you for the Christmas special in season 2.
Yes.
Good. Yes, got it. Good. In that case, we'll see you for the Christmas special in season 2.
Adios, amigos.
No. I simply shan't allow it. I'm going to edit out this entire terrible goodbye that we're doing. And on that note, adios, amigos.